This meeting will come to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's special call meeting of the Vestavia Hills Board of Education. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda, which is displayed on the screen. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you, Jerry. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next order of business is to approve the minutes of the May 17th meeting, and those have been distributed. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So.
And second?
Second.
Any discussion or corrections to the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll now turn over the meeting to Dr. Phillips to present the consent items.
I recommend that the board approve the following consent items: out-of-state and/or overnight trips, disposal of property, student transfers for the 2017-2018 school year, please.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the following consent items: out-of-state and overnight trips, disposal of property, and student transfers. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Phillips?
Item 5A, I recommend that the board approve the resolution as submitted on access, maintenance, and shared parking agreement, and I need to read the resolution. The resolution states, the superintendent is hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver the agreement by and between the City of Vestavia Hills, Alabama, and the Vestavia Hills Board of Education. A copy of the agreement is attached hereto, marked as Exhibit A, and is incorporated into this resolution by reference as though set out fully herein. The superintendent is also authorized and directed to execute any and all other documents necessary to implement and complete the obligations of the Vestavia Hills Board of Education as set forth in the agreement. Resolved, done, and ordered on this day, 12th day of June 2017.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the resolution as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
And now for discussion. Brennan, I believe you're going to explain this agreement to us.
I will. This is a...
You want to come up to the podium, please, if you don't mind.
This is a property agreement between the City of Vestavia Hills and the Board of Education that the city is conveying property on both the north and the south end of the Cahaba Hills Elementary site. Property to the north, property to the south that's needed for. The north end is the next phase of construction that's planned and just bid last month. That's the classroom addition, new media center that gives you the needed property to build on that end. And this is also property on the south end of the site that's the third phase at Cahaba Heights, which is more parking and a revised traffic loop that extends that traffic loop at the south end of the site. So this is parking agreement, shared access, and improvements by both the board and the city that are defined in the agreement that the board's going to add so much parking, so much access, so many paved areas, and the city in turn will do some improvements on the property as well as the property and their future plan at the parks area to the east side of the site. So the south, in this agreement, the south area of the site was already the proposed plan that's already been shared, about 96 new parking spaces, an increased traffic loop that gets into the south end of the site. On the north end of the site, the city has requested that on the portion of the property that they're conveying to the school board that you add about 47 paved parking spaces that's to the north adjacent of the new classroom addition of that site.
Okay, so the paving and the parking spaces that we have agreed to do on the site, do you just have a ballpark estimate of what you think the cost of that might be?
On the north end of the site is about 47 parking spaces that are requested along that roadway. We're estimating that about $75,000 budgeted should cover the the parking in that area. On the south end of the site, I mean, it's a much larger project that includes that traffic loop. I think we're at about $2.2 million now, but that was already planned, budgeted construction to be done in that area.
Because it was included in there.
Right, yeah, we've already considered that. Okay. All right, any other questions or comments for Brendan on this?
The only thing I would add is that, we've worked quite a bit with the city on getting to this agreement, and I feel like it's a mutual win-win here as far as the needs the Park and Rec have, that they have, and then, of course, our usage and the common use thereof.
And
in
they
the
were looking
parking.
for the contractual agreement to allow them access, and that's
correct.
included in this and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So we think this agreement's beneficial to both of us and a fair agreement. All right, if there's no other comments or discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Item 5B, I recommend that the board approve the easement to Bell South Telecommunications LLC as submitted.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the easement to Bell South Telecommunications as submitted. Do I hear a motion? To approve. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5C, I recommend that the board approve the contract between Johnny Hamilton Painting and the board in the amount of $46,585 as submitted for painting at 7 of our schools during the summer months, please.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the contract between Johnny Hamilton Painting and the board in the amount of $46,585 as submitted. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5D, I recommend that the board approve the contract between Bryan's Carpet and Tile Incorporated and the board in the amount of $32,450 as submitted for flooring work in 5 schools during the summer.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the contract between Bryan's Carpet and Tile and the board in the amount of $32,450 as submitted. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6, I recommend that the board approve the following personnel actions: retirements, resignations, reassignments, transfers, leaves of absence, and employments, please.
You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the following personnel resignations, reassignments, transfers, leave of absence, and employments. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Is there any discussion, comments on that question?
Primary reason that we needed to have a call board meeting, so thank you very much. This helps us move forward with many decisions that need to be made as we have positions come up in.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The only updates I have is that at our regularly scheduled June 28th meeting, we'll welcome Mr. Vendall to the board. We will have the contract for the cooperative strategies at that board meeting that we have discussed previously, and we'll be at AASB this week, the end of this week, into the weekend, and then I will be at SSA. There is a lot going on at the state level, as you may have read or seen, as far as changes at the State Department. The state superintendent has rolled out his new plan for input from people as we move forward. He was actually here in Vestavia Hills for we hosted the Alabama State Librarians Association, and he spoke to them briefly today. I'm certain we'll hear more about that, hear more about the new ESSA law that took the place of No Child Left Behind and what it means for us, and hopefully bring back some information there. We are slim on administrators this evening because many of them are at the class convention, which is their opportunity for some stellar professional development as well. So a lot of them are in Mobile today. And that's all I have.
All right. Our last order of business will be to invite public comment. We ask that you please limit your comments to agenda items and that you come to the podium and state your name and address. and limit your comments to 3 minutes if possible. Do we have any comments? All right, there being no further business to come before this board, we stand adjourned.